Hello, welcome back to my Flosstube. This is episode number 31 and we're going to talk about the cross stitching that I've been doing in the last couple of weeks. If you don't know what cross stitch is, quick Google search. It is needlework, making crosses onto fabric to make a picture as a whole. If that sounds kind of interesting to you, stick around. You might find something you like. Those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you could join me today. I just took off my glasses that I was wearing at the organ at church today, and so I have big glasses marks on the bridge of my nose. Just ignore that because it's better than the glare marks from my glasses that you would get from the ring lights. So welcome, welcome. It is Sunday, June 18th. I'm filming this on Father's Day. And we're going to talk about all the stitching that I've done in the last couple weeks. I do have a giveaway for you guys today of another duplicate pattern that I found myself purchasing. I have two FFOs that I'm going to share with you. I have WIPS that I'm going to share, some haul. I'm going to talk about some new channels that I have been watching lately on Flosstube. And then we're going to talk about, I have a couple kits that I want to share with you of things that are potential new starts maybe in the next couple weeks. I didn't have any new starts these last 2 weeks because I started so many new things at the tail end of Mania that I was just like, I really don't want any new starts right now. I just want to stitch on my previous projects. And now I might be ready for another new start in the next couple weeks. So I'm going to share those kit ups and we'll look and see what you guys think, which one should maybe be a new start this next week. And I'll talk about plans, and then that will be it for today's video. So hi, my name is Phoebe, in case you're new here. My last name actually is Moon, which is why my main channel, it's called Phoebe Moon. That's where I review nail polish for nail polish brands. My nail polish company is actually called Moon Shine Mani, because you have a shiny mani manicure. And so then when it came to naming my Flosstube channel, I just kind of stuck with that same theme, and that's why my channel is named Moon Shine Stitchery. I feel like I need to explain that frequently because it's not like a natural probably thing you would associate me with. I don't drink. The name Moonshine Stitchery is not because of moonshine, but more just because I thought the pun was kind of funny, because my last name is Moon. So anyway, that gives you a little insight into my personality as well, because I'm kind of silly. So we're going to talk about, first let's talk about my FFOs. So I have two pillows that I finished. One that was waiting for me to finish it for quite a while. I went ahead and finished my bee stitches from Jeannette Douglas. I don't know why, I just kind of forgot that I needed to finish that still. And then I've been thinking about what I want to start for my birthday start this August. And I want to do another Jeannette Douglas project. And so I've been thinking about which one to do. And then I was like, oh, I never did actually finish that up. So I made it into a pillow. And I'm also going to share with you my second FFO, which is my Be Ye Thankful. I'm all ready to celebrate Thanksgiving now because I have one finish from Brenda Gervais. So I'm going to share those with you. They're both using the same tutorial. It is a Vonna Pfeiffer tutorial. I will link it in the description bar below. Also down there you'll find everything you need to know. I will link where you can go to purchase the different patterns that I've been stitching on and different things like that. And any websites that I talk about, I'll put down there below. I'm also going to link the Flosstubers that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at the FFOs. Okay, so here's my first fully finished object. I have not learned any other finishes than the pillow yet. Actually, that's not true. I did make Heidi an ornament last Christmas, but I'm still just enjoying making pillows with my smaller finishes. And I think next I want to make something into a flat fold, but I don't finish big things, so, or this could have been easily a flat fold, but anyway, this is Jeannette Douglas Bee Stitches, and you guys have seen this project for a while. I loved every second of this stitch except for this floss here. I talked about it, it was probably like 6 or 7 episodes ago, but it is a Londonderry linen floss, and it's kind of rough, and it's very cool on this piece, but it was a pain in the butt to stitch. So anyway, I decided to finish it in a pillow, and it has purple velvet backing fabric, so I decided to be a little extra for the queen bee. And there she is right there, and she's also up there. They're twin queen bees. I loved so much about this project. All the flosses except for the one that I was talking about. It was such a delicious stitch. So yeah, I will link the video, Vonna Pfeiffer's video, down below if you want to do a finish like this. It has a close at the bottom, you can tell because of all that puckering. And yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time, and now I can put this out for probably the whole year. I don't feel like this is just summer, although it's probably just spring, summer, and autumn. But hey, I really like this one. So that's fully finished number 1. Here is the second pillow that I finished up this weekend. This is Be Ye Thankful from Brenda Gervais. I did this in the exact same method as the last one. There's my little finish where I closed the hole after stuffing everything. And I didn't say before, the bee stitches was stitched on Fiber on a Whim Affogato, and this one is a piece of 36 count that I hand dyed myself. And the back fabric looks like this. I just got this at Joann's, which is also where I got the velvet. And I loved every second of this stitch. Now I have 2 out of my 4 pillows are Brenda Gervais. I guess I really like her patterns. So anyway, love, love, love. And it's just so small and cute. It's my smallest pillow so far. I just think it is so delightful. So there is that. All right, the next thing that I want to do before we get too far into the video is mention a few new to me Flosstube channels. Now these all aren't going to be new Flosstubers, but with how many people are starting channels and how much great content there is out there, you could literally just watch Flosstube all day long, which is sometimes what I do while I'm working. I just have it on in the background. But I usually don't talk too much about the channels that I frequently watch, like their weekly or bi-weekly video, but I will mention new to me channels in case you may not have tried them yet either and you want to go give them a try. So I'm just looking at my viewing history on my YouTube app. Most recently I was trying the Floss Boss and Cousins, and their most recent video is called Hoes Before Bros, and that's hilarious. This is their Flosstube number 6. They are 2 cousins, and they are just, I love watching relatives in stitchy videos together because it's just such a nice feeling of camaraderie. Sometimes you'll have like siblings that are making videos together where they literally, I mean, you can tell they're siblings by the way that they kind of fight together. Anyway, these 2 Floss Boss and Cousins are so friendly and sweet and wonderful. And actually, I didn't even get far enough into the video before it was time to leave for church where I got to see what projects they were working on. They were talking about other people's work and different things that were sent to them in Happy Mail, and just their different life updates and stuff. And I already fell in love with them as a duo, and so I'll definitely be finishing that video shortly. So that's the first channel I want to mention. I subscribed to a new to me channel called In the Craft Room, and I watched about half of her video number 4, and or actually I think it's just number 4 of the Stitch With Me of Hoity Toity. And her conversion is, I think it's a conversion because I have that pattern and it doesn't look like that. But I don't know, I had to check with her, so I sent her a comment, but I haven't checked to see if she responded. Anyway, it's called In the Craft Room, and so if you like Stitch With Me videos, I know some people don't like the sound of the thread pulling through. I like it very much. I subscribe to an embroidery channel just for that purpose, where it's just, it's not tutorials, it's just watching her stitch. But it's not like real time. Like in the craft room, you're watching her just stitch. There's no talking, no music, nothing. You're watching her stitch on hoity-toity, and her color choices are so beautiful. But the other embroidery channel, it's more like she'll start a certain element in the embroidery, and then it'll be like a quickly finishing up that part, and then she'll start a new part, so you're listening to that smooth floss pulling through, and then it'll quickly move through. So I'll link that down in the description bar below, so you can go look at that too as well if you know you like the Stitch With Me videos. So another new to me channel that was recommended from my friend Heidi, and this woman just is prolific, stitches huge projects. She is beautiful. Like, I feel like I could just watch her talk all day. I can just feel her beautiful stitchy heart, and her projects are just amazing. So I'm sure you all follow her already, but it's Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle. Oh my goodness, Heidi sent me the video and she goes, watch this. And like every single project that she was talking about, I was like, oh my gosh, she's doing that. Oh my gosh, she's doing that. And Heidi's like, just wait. And every single one, it was just like, boom. It's like when you're watching a fireworks show, and at the end, how it just is like the big ones right on top of each other. That's how I felt watching Narissa's Flosstube. So I plan to go back and watch all the other ones, of course. So that was only Flosstube number 7. So it's at least like not as much of a backlog for me. Although if it were, that would be awesome, because that wouldn't have more content of hers to watch. So anyway, I believe she's Australian. So it's so nice to listen to as well. So extra bonus for me. Anyway, if you haven't checked her out yet, definitely go give her a watch and subscribe. She is phenomenal. I think that I've talked about the Steadfast Stitcher here on my channel before, so this is getting a new mention, but she has a WIP parade that she just put up where she's showing the first 30 projects of her 60 new starts that she's doing in 2023 for her 60th birthday. So if you love a WIP parade, if you are someone who just loves like starting all the things, this is really going to give you that super fun vibe you're looking for from watching content where somebody is not afraid to start lots of things and you just get to see tons of awesome projects. So definitely go check her out. Her name's Beth, and her channel is The Steadfast Stitcher, so I'll link that below, of course. Alright, so I think that's it for Flosstube mentions. We are going to go ahead and get into WIPs. So I have lots of fun stuff to share with you today. And if you were with me last video in episode 30, you will know that my randomizer, my little decisions wheel on my phone, chose my Haid piece, which I have 2 full coverage pieces. One is Spring Montage from Pain Free Crafts, and the other one is the Grand Library from Amy Stewart, charted by Haid. And they're very different from each other. The Grand Library is stitched over 1 on 28 count Lugana, and that cloth is really soft, and however the holes, the squares are so much smaller. And I'm not doing 10 stitch, I'm doing full cross. And then my Pain Free Crafts is a little bit less daunting for me to pull out, because I'm stitching that one on 18 count Aida, 2 strands, which isn't my favorite, but you don't have that problem where the thread's gonna slip under that leg of this cross. So it's easier to get into a groove, because I feel like I have to be a lot more careful on my 28 count Lugana. So anyway, in the last video, I had that project chosen for me by fate that I was going to stitch on it this week. And my goal with my full coverage pieces, I'm doing diagonal parking. If you want to learn about that, Blitz Stitch is where I learned about it from. I will link his channel below. And I love diagonal parking. I just love aesthetically how you can see the design just coming to completion. And I really, really like it. It's very satisfying. However, it means that you're changing stitches, you're changing floss a lot. And I don't do the thing where I just keep a whole bunch of needles and park them all, which you could do that too. I'd probably just stab myself constantly. Those of you who do that, do you stab yourself a lot? Anyway, Um, so the other nice thing about diagonal parking is I feel like you're less likely to make like a big mistake that you'd have to rip a lot out of later, or that would throw you off a lot, because you're not going very far before you're switching colors and like automatically checking your work as you go. Whereas if I stitched a whole bunch over like this, all the way over, and then I went and picked another color close to it and I started building off of that color, but if all that was wrong, then that would mess me up a lot. So there's a number of reasons why I like it. So anyway, as fate would have it, after I stitched on the Grand Library and completed, so I was saying my goal for whenever I pull those is to complete one row of the diagonal, which the row gets longer and longer the farther and farther you get into the project. So I will go from the bottom left up till the diagonal reaches the top horizontal line of the project, or I'll go from the top and go down to the bottom left. So when I finished that on my Hade, which I had a much nicer time with it this time than before. I don't know why. I think I was making sure to have better lighting this time. I was stitching it outside in the morning times, which was so nice because we were having great weather this week. And so in the morning, you know, from like 7 to, well, it's not like consistent stitching time in there because I have 4 children. Anyway, I had good lighting and it was making it nicer. So then, after I finished that, I respun the Tiny Decisions wheel and got my Pain Free Craft full coverage piece, the Spring Montage, which they do have a kit for it from Janlin, but I'm doing the full coverage version with all the colors. So, I had lots of full coverage these last 2 weeks is what I'm trying to say. I also had my anniversary stitching, which was on the 10th. I had my 4th of July stitching because I filmed like right before 4th of July, or not 4th of July. I filmed right before the 4th and I stitched Patriotic every 4th. Anyway, so I have that to share with you. And then my Dark 13 stitching, which I did on the 13th. But then other than that, I had the random project that we drew from Mania, and that was a little finish. I didn't show that on an FFOs because I think I'm going to keep that whole season 2 celebrations from Hands On Design in that spot for Mania. And so just because I finished February, I'm still going to keep that project in there, and then next time it gets drawn, I'll start March. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's a lot of explanation. Let me just show you the stitching. All right, my first WIP is Red Cardinals from Forest Embroidery. I'm stitching this on Historic Green from Fabric Flare. I am stitching this with my own conversion of Dinky Dyes because when I purchased this PDF, I don't know if I simply couldn't get the Forest flosses that go with this design, if it was like too expensive, or I couldn't get them at the time, but I didn't. And so I just kitted this up from looking at Dinky Dye online, and none of the reds that came were like a true red, and that's been a little bit disappointing for me. Let me go ahead and pull in. This is a 40 count piece of fabric, so I'm stitching with one strand, and I love, 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 love the Dinky Dyes. It's just like, I really love all the colors. I love how they feel. Dinky Dye is one of my favorite silks to stitch with, but because the main reds in this pattern aren't pulling like true red, it's just not been giving me what I need out of this stitch. So I will continue to keep stitching this, but I was ready to put it away after like a day. I only stitched on this for a day. So also I have a mistake in here. This basket, one of these places in here along the side is supposed to be like 3 stitches longer. Like there's another trio of vertical stitches in there. So this basket is 3 stitches scrunched up. So I'm gonna have to tweak the inside of the berries, which is fine. I'm not gonna pull it out because that would mean I'd have to pull out all of this, and I'm not gonna do that. So that's a little bit of a bummer too. Not that I mind that the pattern's gonna look different, but or the finished product's gonna look different from the model, but now I have to remember to like not base any counting off of this basket. I think I will be able to remember. So anyway, the gold and the white are perfectly as I wanted them to be, and the green, I love the green. But all the reds, so this is one red. That one, here, let me just tell you what it is. I like Caranda is the green I'm using, and it's really nice. It has some blues, some bluey gray green in there, but then it's also mostly pretty good for the pine color. And then Iron Bark is the brown. This is the color of the basket. And then these pine cones, I'm guessing those are supposed to be pine cones. So this is good. I like that. But see, this is too close to this. I'm using Black Sand Beach for anything that needs like this gray in there. I really love that silk. That's beautiful. I have Camo Green. I think that this is in there in case I wanted to like vary which greens I'm using, but I think I'm going to stick with what I have. I have Whoop Whoop for the beige part of the bird. And then this Blue Ice, I haven't used it yet. I don't know what I'm using it for, but it's in there. I also have another green. This Evergreen is just... Actually, I might not have used this yet. I don't think this has come into play yet, or it's not going to. I think I decided to go with the Caranda. But anyway, it's in there in case I want it. I forget what the gold is called because I guess I lost the tag. Okay, so my three reds I'm using, the whitish ecru is natural. I was like natural. Okay, so my three reds I'm using are, this one is called Chinese Red, and I used it for the more fiery, like for the candles and stuff. But it's like more orange than I wanted, and then this one is more brown than I wanted, and then this one is just, I don't know, this one's okay, but it's just more rosy toned. So anyway, that's my whole rant about that. I like this project. I was super hyped to do a Alforce embroidery. It's just not really giving me what I wanted, but I am going to continue it because it's a really lovely stitch. Working with the Dinky Dyes, I recommend. All right, whip number 2, which is this is my tiny finish. So, but this is still going to be a whip because when I pull it again, I'm going to start March. But you know, this is a whip slash finish. So I finished February. I actually am going to just grab out the back of. This is why it's great to make working copies of stuff because my thing is getting all bent up. But there's not a great picture of this online when you go search for like the finish of February. So I'm just going to show you this. This is just a computer generated image. But so I've done January and February, and then so whenever I draw this again, I'm going to do this March basket here. So the finish is going to look just like this. I'm going to do it 3x4. And it's not going to look just like this because I'm using a color conversion. So, but that's how I'm going to stitch it all together like that. And on 40 count, this is stitching up so small and cute, which is why I decided not to make them into their own little ornaments or pillows or whatever. So this is on 40 count hot cocoa from Be Stitch Me. I love this fabric so much. It does have some green in it, some rosy browns. It's really mottled and really, really nice. So the conversion that I'm using is the Fat Quarter Shop conversion that she did for this design. And so here's all the flosses like this. It's really, really pretty. She actually removed the purple, which is funny because I like purple, but and there's like 2 pinks instead of purple, but that's all right. So I'm really enjoying this project and I'm really enjoying the conversion. She kept like 3 of the same flosses, and I can't remember if this green here is one that she kept, but I really like that green. Let me see. That is spinach. So I plan to use spinach a lot more. It's pretty. It has blues. It's kind of like that Karanda from Dinky Dyes, actually. So anyway, let me pull in a bit more here so you can see. So there's my my mini finish, and just a really nice stitch. I think that I got the whole square done, and well, I had some done before that I did from Mania, and then I finished up the rest in like whatever stitching I had for one day and like a half a day. So yes, that is Season 2, A Year of Celebrations from Hands-On Design. And I'm stitching one strand of floss, of course, and that's really, really nice. So next WIP is my anniversary stitch. This is for, Pretty Hawaii from Satsuma Street, and I love the fabric here that I chose for this. This is a 14 or 16 count. It's probably 14 count Aida, and it's just one of the ones that you can get at Hobby Lobby, and it has this printed modeling on it, and that's really pretty. I'm using all of the called for DMCs because they are bright and beautiful and everything. And so I'm doing 2 strands of floss, and I'm really starting to make some progress. Getting that whole rainbow done made me feel very happy. And I got the 2 trees in, and then this orange, there's going to be a house right here, and the orange is the roof. So still really enjoying this project, but I'm not in like any rush to get it done. Pretty much as I feel about everything, you know, it's just about the fun of it. So this comes out every single month, so we're gonna keep cooking away at it till it gets done. So really, really love Satsuma Street. Her color choices, her beautiful designs are just perfect. So this is going to just make me so happy every time I look at it. So the next WIP is my patriotic stitching that I do every 4th of the month, and this is Salute to Abigail from Blackbird Designs, and an unconventional choice of fabric here. This is a piece that I dyed. It's 40 count, and but the image, which you're looking at now, is on a darker piece of fabric. It just doesn't have as much modeling as this, but that's fine. I'm loving it. And I did choose 4 flosses from Stash, which are not the called for, but so I have Buckeye Scarlet, Blue Jay is the light blue, Navy is the dark blue, and then light khaki is what I'm using for the white or khaki color. So I really, really enjoyed this. Again, I'm not in any hurry. I'm just spending one day on it a month and really loving. So this is a 40 count, so I'm using 1 strand, and I've been putting it up on the screen for you where I was before, so you know what I've done. It's been a few days since I had this out. I did this very first right after our last floss tube, so it's been a minute. So I think I worked on the flag. Probably all of this is probably what I worked on. Anyway, so yeah, still loving it. I know a lot of people are stitching on this right now for good reason. It's amazing. My next WIP is Supernatural Sal from the Witchy Stitcher, and here's what I got done on the 13th. So I got all the bordering in and the word ogre. And this is not, I don't think this is all the black in that piece, but I wanted to get the whole border in. I love this so much. I really love the gothic design, and I even love the fabric. This is a piece of, I think, 16 count Aida that this is one of the first pieces I dyed, and I love it. And this pattern really eats up your black floss, especially because I'm doing 2 strands, but that's okay. So yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of green in here, which will be fun because there's only a little bit of green in the zombie, but here's all the characters that I've done before, and the last time you saw this project, you know, it just didn't have the ogre, but yeah, that's what I was able to get done. And I think usually when I pull this out for Dark 13, I just try to get the whole character done that time, and I just didn't have as much time to stitch that day, so I just did that, but I'll finish them up nice and quickly next time this comes out. So probably on July 13th. So yes, this is super fun. If you love this kind of, this beautiful Gothic font and the stylization of her borders, I mean, go check her out. She has some stuff that I wouldn't really stitch, but a lot of her stuff is really fun, and I love how ornate. It's just so pretty. So, yes. Oh, and I'm using the called for DMC on the Supernatural cell. Okay, next up is my Heaven and Earth Designs Charted The Grand Library from Amy Stewart, and here's my progress. So I rolled to do one whole diagonal of this, so I believe I started down there and I all the way up. And I am using diagonal parking, as you can see, which means that you park whatever color you're using. You do all of it in that diagonal, and then without like jumping too many spaces to park, if it's close enough and you determine what length that is, what length you're comfortable with carrying on the back. So here's how my back looks. Then you find where it comes in your next diagonal, so all those threads are like already ready for you to just use. So as I mentioned before, this was more enjoyable for me than previous times, and I also like all these ones over here, it was just all purple, which I love purple, but I'm pulling in more colors now, so it's going to be more fun. I have 4 rings of DMC full on this thing. There are so many like this pattern, because I'm doing the max colors, could just be my base DMC kit pretty much. So this is kind of a pain in the butt project to like lug around. I don't really take it anywhere, but yeah, it was more enjoyable this time. So I'm gonna zoom in so you can see all the little stitches a little bit, and yeah. It's not my favorite project to stitch on, but I am enjoying it. I know that I would enjoy it so much more if I had done it over 2 on this fabric. This is 28 count Lugana, and I'm doing it over 1. I would love it so much if I were doing it over 2, but then it would be huge. It would be actual huge. So it's fine. It's just going to be small and cute, and yeah, I like it. So I don't know what this like... There's definitely this circle with these little dots here, and I'm not sure what that is, but it looks pretty. So pulling in some greens, loving that. My final whip of the last 2 weeks is Pain Free Crafts charting of Summer Montage, and oh, there's a needle right there. And I really enjoyed stitching on this. I always really enjoy stitching on this, but I mean, you can see so many of these beautiful blossoms coming in now, and the checkerboard is forming there. And then this was especially fun because whatever this and this is, we're bringing in some purples and some different greens. There's like this light teal in there even. This is so much fun to work on. Diagonal parking, as you can see. I'm stitching this on 18 count Aida, and it's full cross just like Hade was. I didn't mention that. This is my project where I never measured accurately. Like I just kind of measured with a ruler to see if I thought it would fit, but then this was before I had an app to tell me like if something would definitely fit on the fabric I was choosing. So I'm using a huge rolled up piece of Aida. I just keep this one rolled up. So I have a ton of fabric here, but I'm not sure how much of this pattern will actually fit, because I did leave myself like a 6-inch margin at the top and on the side. So I may end up having to like cut this off at the bottom before it gets quite finished and just add in this border that they have all the way around. Anyway, it's a make it work moment, but I really love this. There's going to be a butterfly coming in right here, so I'm about to get more fun colors, but I just love these cherry blossoms and the dark striking black and brown branches coming through here, accented on the top with these bright acidy greens. So as you can see, this pattern is a lot of mustard, which is delicious, but it makes it so when you pull in the colors, it's just like, oh, so nice. So obviously, as you can see, a lot of confetti stitching. When you get to places like this, at least it's only like 5 colors that you're bebopping around in. But then when you're doing something like this, like every single one of those is just one color, and there's a lot. So here's my back of this project. So, you know, I'm carrying, but not like super far cross country carrying, but so that's how that's looking. This is feeling like so thick and dense. Like I'm making a tapestry here. It's gonna be so fun, years long project, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So if you want to start a full coverage, this one is so nice, and I'm enjoying this more because I'm stitching it on a bigger count. So that's my thoughts on that, and that's just personal preference for me. So, oh, by the way, on my nails today, this is a polish coming Friday for my brand Moonshine Manny. This is Blueberry Ice Queen. If you like this kind of light but bright indigo shade, periwinkle indigo, it's one of my favorite colors of life. So that's what's been on my nails. That's coming out on Friday. So, all right, that's my final whip. All right, so that was whips. Next, we're going to talk about haul. So I have, I think, one PDF, and then I have some charts that I have purchased recently. So let's go ahead and talk about those. Time for haul. So I think I just picked up this one pattern when I was grabbing some fabric. So this is The Robins Are Here from Brenda Gervais. Not on my immediate plans from Brenda to stitch, but I do think it's really cute, and the colors in there are really, really nice. So there's that. I think Everything Cross Stitch was having a Christmas pattern sale, and so I got Classic Christmas from Hands On Design. Maybe this will be my first, do they call that a flat fold? Is that, it's a flat finish. It doesn't say on the back what the kind of finishes, but I'm sure you're yelling at me on the screen. So yes, it is really cute. So that's fun. Oh, these are all kind of mixed up. So I got, if not all, almost all of the Annabella's exclusives from Teresa Kogut for the All Things Spring Retreat 2023. This one's my favorite. So I am a Teresa Kogut patron, and I don't show you guys the monthly patterns that I get every month because I figure that you see them from other channels, plus I also forget. So, but these were exclusive to that event and they were available already, and this one is my favorite. So here's another one I got. So these aren't that big, 135 by 145, and the other one was 140 by 140 essentially, so not too bad. So Honeybee Bisque Gournou, I've never made a Bisque Gournou, but this is fun, and lots of bees. So that must have been the theme for the All Things Spring Retreat, eh? So anyway, there's that. Back to the Christmas pattern sale, I picked up Noel in Blue from Leela's Studio, and these are adorable ornaments that I could stitch up and gift away. So there's some great options for ornament gifts. And mostly, well, I got these because of the reason I just stated and how cute the whole Christmas sweater vibe is, but also the colors. I love the colors. Also from the Christmas pattern sale, Prairie Schooler 2019 Santa, just because I believe I picked this up from Annabella's when I was grabbing those Teresa Kogut patterns. This one's been calling to me, and I watched somebody finish it the other day, and it's charted for DMC, and I would probably do a variegated floss for that background, but it's just so sweet. So that's Gifts from My Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. This is an awesome book of red smalls, 2023 from Twin Peaks Primitives. I still haven't stitched one of their patterns yet, but I do have some of their smalls, and all of these are so fun, especially this one, but I love this too. I love all of them actually. This one. So this was $20 for 9 smalls. I think that that's a great dealio. So yeah, enjoy. Oh, here's another look at the patterns or the finished products there. And then lastly, I grabbed this patriotic design from Plum Pudding Needle Art, and I'd never picked up one of their designs before. Vanity Sampler. And I just think this lady is just awesome. I love her so much. All right, so here is my PDF download. This is from Quaint Rose Needle Arts on Etsy. This is called Quaint Quaker Spring, and I think it's adorable. All right, let's go ahead and throw the giveaway in here. So I accidentally repurchased Quaker Gardens by Hello from Liz Matthews. I had it already as a PDF, and then I just was like, somebody probably showed it in their Flosstube, and I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I don't know about you, but for me, for some reason, my PDFs, I less easily remember which ones I have. I have a whole Google spreadsheet so that I shouldn't forget what I have and don't repurchase things, but sometimes it happens. It was just meant to be so I could share with you guys. So I have the physical copy. I'm going to do the physical copy for the giveaway, not the PDF. And all you need to do is in your comment today, make sure to include the word garden. Garden or gardens, I think, will be fine. And you will be entered to win the giveaway. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel, 18 years or older to enter. And then in the next video, I will pick the winner and send that to you. And it can be international. There are still some international locations. I know from my nail polish channel, we're always doing giveaways over there. And for my brand, I sell polish from my website. And there's still some international locations that are a little bit iffy, but I will try my best to get it to you. Iffy as in, like, I receive stuff back from there. Like, I'm not able to actually get stuff to people consistently sometimes, which is a total bummer, but I will try my best. So that's the giveaway. This is the hard copy pattern that I'm giving away, Quaker Gardens from Hello from Liz Matthews. Every time I see somebody stitching on this, I just love it. I love Quaker designs. And then I believe that you get this and then also like this, so you don't have to do the whole thing, and that is really, really cute too. So she shows it in red and blue, and I love it. So what I said before is to either put in the word garden or gardens in your, let's use the word gardens, okay? Gardens. Because this actually says gardens. Okay, and you will be entered to win this pattern from me. And then we could have a stitch along. Woohoo! So there is the giveaway for today, and best of luck. Next, I want to talk about a couple of kits that I have ready to go if I'm like having a hankering. Usually what will happen is if I have spun my wheel, my Tiny Decisions wheel, which has all of my WIPs in it, and if what I spin, I'm just like not feeling that vibe today, I will be like, maybe today's a good day for a new start. And so if that happens in the next 2 weeks, one of these next 2 projects I'll probably start. So let me share those with you. Okay, here is the first of my 2 kit ups. These are my 2 potential next starts. Wow, I'm just really on a Hello from Liz Matthews kick. So this is the Vanity Sampler, and it says 2 cross stitch patterns. I don't even think I've opened this up, but I will be doing this one. So it's a Vanity Sampler because the person who stitched this originally, here's a picture of the original, she pulled out the space where she stitched her age and stuff, so that's why it's a Vanity Sampler. And I believe originally I saw it on Bridge and the Museum Stitchers channel that her friend Cam the Stitcher, also on Flosstube, made a goth color conversion for this. And I thought the colors were beautiful. So I went over and followed Cam, and I asked her for her conversion. So here is the fabric that I'm going to stitch it on, and I'm so excited because I have been long waiting for the perfect design to put on this portabella. It is 40 count. This is a fat quarter. So actually I need to measure this. Ooh, I need to measure it and see if it's going to fit. So I'm really excited for this fabric to be used. Ooh, I'm not sure. This is 240 by 286. I'm actually going to use my app right now to check it out. So the app is called X Stitch Plus. And so then you can just, you plot in your coordinates. So tools, calculator, you put the stitch count is 240 by 286, and then you can say I'm stitching this on 40 count over 2. Let's give it a 3-inch border and see if we can fit it. So I need 18 by 20. So, woohoo! It's gonna barely fit. Yeah, yeah. But then of course, you always need to actually measure it and see if you're actually getting that much area. So, yay. Okay, that's great. So I got Cam's conversion, and she used DMCs for her conversion, and so I just went ahead and took those DMCs and then converted them into indie hand-dyed floss. Most of this is Moonshine Stitchery, which means that it is dyed by me, and then I believe I have one, Forbidden Fiber Co in there, because I hadn't mixed up a really nice deep indigo yet. But if for some reason you would like to use these same flosses that I have and you want to stitch this vintage goth conversion, then I recommend going and following Cam. Give her a shout out, give her a follow. If I have any interest, I will make up some kits of overdyed floss by me. So, basically, as you can see, it's a lot of Moody Purple. Really, really love. And we have like a tiny bit of kind of lighter sagey shades here, and then some mulberry, kind of washed out mulberry, some purpley grays. Oh, this one is Evertote. I knew I had another one in there. So this is Evertote over it. Anyway, so yes, I am very, very excited to stitch these flosses on this fabric. So this is my option number 1 for what my next start should be. So that's option number 1. Vanity Sampler if you want to vote for that. And here is option number 2. So this is E Pluribus Unum from Jan Hicks Creates. Isn't this adorable? So I hauled this with you guys a couple videos ago. And it surprised me actually, there are a ton of flosses needed for this. A lot more than I thought, because I just assumed a lot of these reds were the same red, the pinks were the same pink. There's a lot of pink in this pattern, which I'm usually not much of a fan of pink, but I decided to stitch it on this Fabric and Flair Pecan, which I feel like looks pretty similar to that. So we're going to have some heavy modeling like that, and then I did my own conversion as well because I basically had none of the called for overdyed flosses. So here is my conversion. As you know, I like to use floss that I already have in stash. I want to make use of it. And I did grab that grab bag of Threadworks recently, so there's a number of Threadworks in here. So anyway, we have like 4 different shades of red, and then a whole crap ton of shades of rose and pink. And this is my wild card. This is Adzuki from Gentle Arts. This is a real fluffy bit of floss here, but I've had this for a while and didn't really have anything that would fit it. But this pattern called for a very dark brown red, and this one is highly variegated between brown, red, and just brown. So I'm going to give it a go. The just brown is a very yellowy green brown, which isn't usually my favorite brown, but I put it next to these and I didn't hate it, so we're going to give it a go. I have a couple silks in here. I'm using Be Stitch Me hand-dyed silk for the blue, since there's a lot of big patch of blue in here. I felt like that would be really nice to use silks for that. So that is the color Mission. And then we have a number of Moonshine Stitchery shades in here. I'm actually going to do the words out of this color. It calls for Heirloom Gold, but I decided I didn't really want it to be quite that mustardy. So much pink, which is not really my fave. I have Baked Apple in here. But I'm just gonna go with it. So here's my 3 thread works I put in here. So they're kind of like all variations on a beige. This one's just peach and beige, icy blue, and light yellowy beige, and this is yellowy beige with beige. How many times can we say beige? This is one of the light, I was gonna say it's the most pinky pink, but no. I pulled in Pink Posy from Classic Colorworks. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I'm not really that much of a fan of pink, so I don't know what I'm almost. Because there's so many different colors in here, I couldn't really convert this all to reds because they would just all end up kind of looking the same. So, anyway, what do you think? What do you think of this conversion? I mean, it looks pretty similar to the original colors because I used my DMC conversion little booklet thing, which I love. It's like one of my favorite things I've purchased in the last year. And so what do you think? What should I start? Should I start this one or should I start the Vanity Sampler next? You guys sound in down below. Yeah. All right, now we are finally down to plans. So next Flosstube will be in 2 weeks. That'll be on July 3rd. And so that means we'll have our Christmas stitching. Maybe I will actually get a finish on my first day of Christmas from Hello from Liz Matthews. I feel like that's probably an ambitious sight to set, but who knows? May happen. But I'm gonna pull that back out again. And then on the 31st, do we have a 31st? We don't have a 31st of this month, so I won't be stitching Halloween on the 31st because there isn't one. And then I'm going to maybe start one of those new starts we just talked about. And then I need to pick 2 random projects with you of which to definitely stitch on in the next 2 weeks. And then I pick other stuff that maybe I want to stitch on, or when I want to randomize, I'll use that decisions wheel again. So we're going to go ahead and choose one from my Mania WIPs. So those 23 things that you already saw me stitch on in the last 3 videos I talked about Mania. And then I'm going to choose one project from all of my WIPs. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, time to roll a Mania start. So this is a list of all of my 2023 Mania projects. If you go back like 4 videos, you get to see them all before I even start stitching on them if you want. So I'm going to open my random generator. We're going to set the limit here between 1 and 23. And then we're going to pick a project together. So at some point in the next 2 weeks, if you're new here, I do this every single time. At some point in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to stitch on this project. Number 1! That's exciting. So this is the Light Upon the Lawn from Blackbird Designs. I will put up on the screen so you know what that project looks like. And this, I believe, it was the last giveaway that I did. I sent the winner actually this project and the first one in case she wanted to do both of them. And I loved the first one so much, so I'm definitely continuing the series. So really, really excited about that. So that is my first random draw for the next 2 weeks. My next random draw is going to come from my entire WIP list. So here is that app. This is called Tiny Decisions. I just looked up Tiny Decisions on the App Store. And that has all my WIPs. That has Mania and regular WIPs. So let's go ahead and give it a go. Yay! I saw so many people on Flosstube stitching on this last week. I'm really excited that this got chosen because I was thinking to myself, I really need to get back out my Smith sampler. Here's a picture of what it looks like. So when I started this, it's stitched with my stitch I'm doing with Vicki Clayton Silks and a piece of hand-dyed fabric on 40 count, hand-dyed by me. And I think that very first motif that I started with, I just was not in love with those color combos. So I kind of came away feeling less than satisfied. with it. So I'm really excited to pull it back out, spend a few days on it, and really get some more colors in, some more progress in, get some more feel for the Vicki Clayton silks. They're a little bit smaller and less fluffy than like a Dinky Dye or Gloriana, and I think I prefer the little bit like lusher feel of a silk. So I am really excited to spend some more time with this and learn more how I feel about it, because this was a project I was really, really excited to stitch after seeing Sarah and Sarah's Stitching Spot make so much progress on this. And so, yes, yay! I'm so excited that this came up. That is all of the content that I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me. Did you get some stitching done? Were you stitching while you were chatting with me today? Were you getting chores done? Were you working? Let me know what you were doing. Let me know what your favorite project is that you've been stitching on lately. Don't forget to enter the giveaway with your secret word. I will see you back in 2 weeks. I hope that you get the best amount of stitching time ever. And thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like the video. It helps the channel out. And I will see you back again very soon. Take care until then. Bye.